time to get into the last match of the day. It's CLOUD9 against PSG as the World Championships continue. With the commentary of this matchup is Wavepunk and Final Carpet.
All right, Carpet, so a little bit of story time here. Before
right.
Season 4, this was the last season we had qualifiers to get into RLCS, and we had some questions about a few teams that had some new players that had never been here before. One of them was CLOUD9, and one of them was Frontline at the time, especially with CLOUD9, the former Muffin Men. The people that were there, they've been big, they've been awesome, they've been winning so many things during the offseason, but could they make it into league play? And then they made an absolute statement saying, yes, we absolutely can, made it in, and now they're here as North American champions. PSG was the other team, Frontline at the time, then picked up as PSG. That was like, I think these guys can make it in, and some people said, no, there's no chance. And I've been a closet PSG fan like ever since then. I love these guys, but I also love CLOUD9. It's so hard for me to pick who I would even want to win in this match.
I mean, when I look at both these teams, I see that kind of superhero sidekick that does just as much work thing happening, where you've got essentially Squishy Muffins right behind him, Gimmick, who does just as much work, but might not be as flashy, and then Bluey and Shawset, same on the other side. I expect to see some flashy stuff coming from both of these teams. Some highlight stuff, you heard him on the desk saying we can probably do it for months. We'll see what happens, but I don't think either of those teams are going to be coming out slow.
Now, this season has been such a change of the guard. 4 of the players on this pitch are complete rookies to the RLCS, and yet they are 4 of the strongest players in the world. Who will be able to stay in the upper bracket here in the debut of CLOUD9 on the RLCS LAN stage? We'll have to find out here at the end of the series. It's CLOUD9 in the blue, PSG eSports in the orange. First of 3 stays alive in the upper bracket. Start with PSG, bit of offense. He wins a 50-50 in the midfield and then follows it along himself. Now gives it towards the net. Shawset in the way, but he gets it past him, puts it through, and CLOUD9 strikes.
Didn't look like what anyone really expected here. We saw this touch from Squishy. Shawset not really knowing who to contest, Squishy or Gimmick. Didn't really know who hit on there. Some bumping there. Weird shot, doesn't really matter. CLOUD9 gets their first goal.
They get it past Shawset. 4:29 left to go. CLOUD9 takes the lead. They're into the corner. PSG. Bluey finds the angle, and just like that, 7 seconds later, it's a tie game.
Immediate vengeance straight off of kickoff. Farah beating Squishy handedly to that. Torment getting outpaced as well. That right there, CLOUD9 could not keep up with what PSG had to offer straight from kickoff.
That one through. We are already off to a wild ride. 2 goals in the first minute. Who is able to get the lead here. Takes it off, pick off into the corner, looking for Squishy. Trying to connect with Torment again. Gimmick towards the net. Shawset get there? No, he can't. Gimmick finds the angle. Very similar to the goal we just saw scored from PSG.
I mean, they're just keeping it out of each other's reach. The moment either of these teams gains control, they're going to keep it. Always looking for each other, trying to make sure that there's a smaller gap between their own teammates as opposed to their opponents. And you just see it back and forth, just outpacing each other and really controlling that ball.
Gimmick and a lot realize they have super similar cars. They both drive an Octane with like the green and like the black stripes.
Maybe it was planned.
Maybe. You never know. First minute will finally end here after 3 goals in game number 1. CLOUD9 over in their own corner, being zoned out a little bit. Just following along, and now Farah over the top of 1. Torment uncontested. Across midfield and towards the box. Way to respond, and now has it back in the blue corner. Shawset will look for his teammate to try and drop it back down. Nearly finds the angle. Goes into the box, but not the goal. Shot again for PSG. They are already putting on quite a bit of pressure. That win by Torment over the top, all the way into the back. Farah has to play it away. Getting it past Squishy. Shawset passing back up. Bluey to try and drop it nice and soft-like, but Torment clears it away. Now Shawset back and in. Able to pick it up. Torment didn't quite get it far enough away, and we have a tie game again.
Bluey getting this first incredible shot. Nearly there. Torment trying to push it out. Squishy and Gimmick with the same idea. Squishy tried to follow behind, but Shawset somehow keeping so much power on that, even though he had such a hard angle to cut through. Straight across. Farah just staring at the ball. He wanted it.
But please just keep going. Thank you. We'll have a tie game. After 2 minutes of play, it's no more. We still have no idea what's going to happen in this match. We're outside of the 2-piece. Farah in the corner. Bluey following it along. Trying to drop it down. Shawset moves in, Farah lurking in the midfield, looking for an opportunity. Trying to play it off the back wall. Bluey moves in, bumps Torment, and this confuses Cloud9 defense a bit, but he's still able to make a stop. With a loft and Gimmick with the follow. They'll look to transition, get it onto offense. Dropping it near the box. Squishing back off the back wall. Set into the midfield. Shot from Farah, blocked away by Torment. Save your medal already. Right here at halftime in game number 1. We're tied up in 2 apiece. Both teams just struggling to trying to get the lead right now.
But they definitely have no problem controlling it when they do have possession of that ball. And what I really like seeing out of both of these teams is they're not going for the passive, fearful play. They're not trying to play into the pressure of the tournament. They're just playing the game they know.
A lot of 50-50s right in front of the net. Winning most of them, keeping that ball in Cloud9 back half. Crossed into the final 2 minutes
here. Oh, the bump on Bluey.
Missing the goal. Gimmick can't quite put it through, but Cloud9 looking to get follow-up shots cleared away now by Shawset. Bluey over the top. There towards the back corner. 50-50s going in a lot of them going in his favor here. We're not materializing into shots on the last 2 drives. Torment pass 2 towards the net as it end is wide. Bluey now to carry. They'll look to bump Squishy on the wall and drop it to his teammate. Set in the air, leaves it for Farah. Shot towards net, easily defended by Gimmick and now followed up by Torment. Down the field, Bluey has to get there and he does. Puts it to the corner. 1:15 left to go, it's still a tie game.
Right now both teams just trying their best to find themselves on top, but just a little too afraid to give too much because they know exactly how much control all 6 of these players have.
Got it past 1, but couldn't get it past 2, and now Gimmick alongside Torment in the corner. She comes up from midfield, shot towards net, sent away by Bluey. Final minute of game 1. Look at the dribble. Torment takes it away, now followed into the corner. Each Shawset. Gimmick now onto the backboard. Squishy airborne. Gimmick looks for goalies. He'll drop this one back out. The respect given to the full defensive line. 34 seconds remaining, still tied up in 2 apiece. Silver goal territory and approaching overtime as Bluey sits in the net for PSG. It's between Squishy and Gimmick. Torment in the back, moving up. 19 seconds left on the clock. 3 players out at midfield here. Everybody pushing onto offense for PSG, going for the win here in regulation. Squishy over the top of 2, and now Gimmick down the field. Bluey is rotated back in time. He should be able to make the save. Cloud9 able to move this one back down, most likely in the lead and boost. PSG will try to just put this one into the ground, send us to overtime in game number 1. We will do so.
Very close in shots. 6 shots for Cloud9 and 8 for PSG, within only 2 of each other. Both teams, again, really respecting each other's skill.
The kickoff, Shawset going for the early shot, but defended by Torment. Just hoping for the mistake on defense. Fair now airborne to try and drop this one underneath. It's still in a box in a dangerous spot. Here comes Bluey through, defended away. But Fair will try to keep the pressure on. This 50-50 game's been strong, and now's a good opportunity to use it. Squishy with a flick will take it away from 2 players.
Wow.
He just Bluey in the back. Goes for the long punt. Fair moving in to intercept Torment. Now he's going to look for the other goalie. Gimmick goes airborne, but he misses. Shawset to drop it down and underneath. PSG takes game 1.
Coming down to a single mistake. We see Gimmick in a really tight spot. Bluey and that demolition followed after Farah. Such a hard thing for Gimmick to try and chase up to, and the fact that Bluey was there was actually phenomenal for him to realize what was going on and that the demolition from Farah could push that ball over into his possession. And we'll look at PSG to take the first game in an overtime.
I've never seen such a wide zone. You saw Farah moving up. He gets the demolition on Torment, and then he turns to look at Gimmick. He just looks at him and then turns away. And that was enough for Gimmick to be like, I don't know if you're coming for me. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I didn't need to defend this. Oh, I missed. And then Shawset's able to score it. PSG taking game 1.
I mean, when you have no momentum and you're just sitting there on the ground underneath your net and you have to go straight up, it's so terrible because generally, at least if it's coming out and forward, you can drive forward a bit and use, the acceleration of your car to help build momentum, aerial forward faster. But if you're going from ground to up, there's nothing to help you but your boost, and it's definitely not the fastest way to get anywhere. It's also way harder to read because you don't have as much momentum to change it, so you can see what happens, not only when that happens, but also someone's trying to blow you up. You end up with what Gimmick had to do. It was a really tight spot for him, and he wasn't able to make it in time. PSG will barely eke that one out, though, in an overtime.
Well, Bluey here with a brilliant performance. 5 shots from the man and 100% goal participation. He scored 1, was able to assist the other two. So PSG takes the lead in the series, and now CLOUD9 will be looking to bounce back. You heard them talking about the Northern Arena Finals. It was between these two teams, the most recent LAN we had before the RLCS World Championships. And that one went to a bracket reset, went to Game 7 on the first best of 7. So very, very close teams here. They are firing on all cylinders. And Game 1 going to overtime, going to be exactly the same sort of matchup. Start with PSG on the offense. Over the top, Squishy downfield. Fair with the save in net and the clear to the side. And he puts it back in, and Squishy moves it over the top of one goalie. Bluey just rotate back, allow Fair to move up. She'll set now down the field towards the box. Gimmick over to the side. Squishy's transition. Tried to intercept, but not going to find it. It'll be Chalset who moves up now. He gets the touch upwards to Farah before getting demolished. Ball will now be in the CLOUD9 corner. Into the backboard, here comes Farah in. Torment will make the save. She looking for effective offense. We had about, I think we had 3 goals in the first minute. Game number 1, and now we have first minute about to come and go quietly with nobody scoring.
And only 1 shot apiece as well.
Set in the corner. Carries it out himself. 50-50 in the air, into neutrally sideways. Drop from Gimmick. Rolling shot towards net a bit high. Could be finished off here by Squishy, but sent over and away. CLOUD9 still looking for that first goal here. Love to be able to bounce back here in Game 2 and tie up the series in the game of peace. Right now they got to fall back on the defense on some quick movement from PSG.
Not a lot of passing from either team, which I think is why it's a lot quieter than we saw last game. Now they're trying their best to do the solo plays that they are kind of known for. You know that Squishy and Bluey both known for their incredible mechanical skill. But if you rely too much on that, you'll probably have a lot less shots on that, which means you're kind of relying on winning this game by a single goal, which is always a little scary.
We had a lot of time to size up that shot, but still lost the 50-50. Clear from Chalset, sends it all the way back down, but that just concedes ball control for the moment. CLOUD9 should be able to move up on offense right now. A play to the side from Chalset. A Torment who challenges Fair in the midfield, and he wins the 50-50 with Chalset behind him as well. Gimmick now moving up and putting it above the backboard. Squishy trying to move in to finish it off. And Bluey sends it away. This drop down. Squishy with a nice soft touch down to Torment, and the shot towards net, a bit high, saved away by Chalset.
Beautiful touchdown. And we see both of them. I guess that's just a touchdown. That's not real in this game.
No.
Beautiful touch downwards towards the ground there from Squishy, looking for his teammate. But again, both of these teams kind of relying on the backboard right now. And what do we know of anything of this season? That the backboard defense is nearly untouchable by every single team that we see, especially here at LAN. So the fact that both teams are relying on hitting it off there, just waiting for a mistake like we saw in overtime last game, not a very reliable way to play.
Yeah, an old season meta. Every team has figured out how to effectively eliminate. Need the bumps and you need the infield passes here at Season 4. So trying to play it out of his own corner. There will steal the boost in front of Squishy and then turn to challenge. Uses ball control, and be able to put it into the PSG corner. Gimmick working into midfield. Squishy will look for a pass across to his teammate. Excellent redirect. Chalset sends it away. Nearly able to make the goal happen, and now Farah with the clear out to midfield. Torment back into the corner, and they'll try and do it again. They're kind of going for almost like outfield pass plays instead of infield. They're from the midfield, passing it to the corner, and then shooting at the net. 2 shots there from Gimmick, both well defended by PSG.
It's harder to shoot, but it's still just as hard to defend.
Farah is able to get this through. The defender was coming through, and Chalset makes the excellent setup. What a finish by Farah.
Even just a missed rotation. Squishy thought he had time. You watched him slow that down, trying to carry it out, but Farah not only was able to get it over Squishy, but then follow through with a shot before anyone could come across and make the save. And now PSG will get their first goal of this game.
We talked in Game 1 about Farah and his 50-50 game, how he's been winning them pretty consistently here for PSG, and there, the 50-50 that mattered, right in front of the goal line, able to put the goal in. Now PSG's got the lead. Shot down field, blocked by Squishy. Farah will take it away from him and take the midfield boost for his efforts. Chalset, Farah on the ground. Will be able to pitch this one over the top of Squishy, and in the final minute of Game 2, PSG took game number 1, and they're looking to do it in Game 2 as well. We've had nothing but Game 5s and sweeps today, it feels like. PSG's going to try. They would love to be able to just cleanly put Cloud9 away in 3 games. Set airborne into the corner. 36 seconds left in the clock. Plenty of time for Cloud9 to tie this game up. Play into 0-second time with it being just a one goal differential.
I feel like Cloud9 are starting to feel that pressure. You can watch even when no one's contesting them and they have time on defense, they'll still clear it away way farther than any of their teammates can try and reach, go for maybe some kind of redirect or pass, and then just clearing it right back into PSG's territory and giving them the next touch.
Right now, this feels like Cloud9 is a bit scared of the presence and the aggressiveness of PSG. You can watch Gimmick in the midfield when his team was moving up. He was still hesitating and just anticipating needing to fall back on defense as they're unable to get that one through. PSG now 2 games in a row. The first one in overtime, this one in regulation, and they already have Cloud9 at match point.
So I was going to ask you, I was going to quiz you.
Oh, really?
But I think me quizzing you gives you, or lets you know which answer to pick.
Oh, really?
Which team you think had 7 shots and which team you think had 2?
Oh, well, I already looked at the score.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really that fun anymore because honestly, me asking kind of gives the whole thing away. But even without having a lot of offensive control and not really putting any shots on target,
It was clear. It was Cloud9, by the way, that had 7. For the people
yeah. Oh yeah.
see the
Sorry.
scoreboard.
For the uninitiated that really didn't. Thank God they couldn't figure out my horrible clues there.
Yeah.
PSG with 7 shots. PSG with 2 shots. Cloud9 with only. Or with 7.
With 7.
I can't even remember my own thing now.
They
I'm
had
lost.
7 shots and no goals to show for it. 5 saves from PSG. An excellent backline defense there. Be able to put this one away. And PSG continues a streak of completely assisted goals here. But I believe it was Bluey who had 100% goal participation last, or was it Chaussette in game number 1?
One of them.
You know, it was one of them. It's match number 6 of the day in my brain.
Yeah. So Cloud9, it really does feel like they can tell that there's pressure on them right now. They feel like they need to live up to their own standard or a certain standard that people are looking at, and that's the struggle. It's the struggle that NRG were happy they didn't have. Coming in as the #1 North American seed, knowing you'd have some pretty solid teams, and to go against PSG, at them coming in at the number 4 seed, you heard him say it on the desk. It's not terribly fair to think of them as the number 4 seed because they do not play like one. They didn't do too well in the one day they needed to, but now Cloud9 are going to feel that pain.
And you heard Gibbs on the desk saying, you know, PSG has already played today. They've already had the chance to get warmed up on this stage. That could be a big difference maker here. Right now, Cloud9, a team that we know can beat anybody in the world on a good day for them. 1 game away from being knocked into the lower bracket here by PSG. Could do it in 3 games. Set over the top, Farah. Slowly play this one, and he'll try to pinch it with Bluey. Set down the field. Bluey looking to go airborne, see if he can put this one into the net. Drop some defenders along with him. Continues on the offensive pressure that they had in games 1 and 2. An excellent redirected Squishy puts it in. Cloud9 takes the lead.
This is as accurate as it can get, right into the corner. No one could save this, even if they knew exactly where it was going or when. You see Chaussette trying to contest that. Bluey on the wrong side of the net. I don't even know how much boost he would have had to contest that. Not a whole lot, but now we'll see Squishy. I don't know if that's his first goal, but he hasn't had a lot this series, so it's got to be really good for him to put one away that cleanly.
There's only been 2 goals for Cloud9 this series so far. It's been a rather low-scoring series in general. They're looking for the slow play, and Squishy reads it, sends it right away, and puts in another one, putting the team on his back. 2 of Cloud9.
This is huge for Cloud9 to start off a game with 2 goals. You see a mistake there. 2 players from PSG almost helping with that pinch. But I think it was a blue trail. Just looked like a pinch. Squishy, that's an easy shot for him.
Puts that one through. 2 goals in the first minute here for Cloud9. Making the adjustments they need to and playing aggressive, trusting their touches, trusting their teammates. So far it's worked out, and just giving the ball to Squishy as well. As he has been able to find some accuracy that was missing in the first few games. Pick up high. Squishy airborne onto the backboard, following along. Chaussette plays it away. The format puts it back into the corner. Cloud9 looking to put on pressure here early in game 3. They're faced with the task of reverse sweeping PSG if they want to be able to stay in the upper bracket. 3 players there from PSG piled up all on top of each other. They're also playing aggressive, maybe to their own detriment. Vera finds a shot. It bounces off the crossbar and back out. Format will add some pace to it to get it away from his net. They're lucky that one missed. Over the top of 2, Gimmick in net, plays it away. Chaussette to try and give them another opportunity, drops it back into the box. Squishy gets it back out to midfield.
Gorgeous touch from Chaussette to drop that down, but just unable to make connections with his teammate. Cloud9 really turning this around. Gimmick, no, shot that into the post. Torment couldn't push it in.
What a block from Shawset, just putting his car in the way, eliminate any shot opportunities from Cloud9, and now they've got the transition. Can Bluey get this past Gimmick? No, he'll tackle him outright. And over the top, pinch it off the ceiling, back out towards Squishy, but intercepted by Shawset. PSG looking for offense. They have yet to score here as we're approaching halftime in game 3.
Blue retreating back, just trying his best to help his team push this through. They need to try and gain control at this point and not give up possession. They are quick and they can beat them, but they need to be very, nearly putting that in.
Nearly got the shot off, and part of it enabled there by Bluey, just being aggressive, lurking in the midfield, even when his team's on defense. He's raring to go. He wants to get these goals in. He's playing aggressive. And that's what got them here in the first place, having Cloud9 on match point, and they are still putting this pressure on. Squishy gets another one away, and Shawset in the corner, just trying to keep it on for PSG right now.
Always the battle that I see teams play. What do you do when you're up by 2? Do you just try and play the best defense you can and prevent them from having goals? But if you do that, then you're letting them play their offensive game as much as possible. So you need to find that fine balance of dedicating to attacks without overcommitting, while also being able to retreat and defend whatever they've got for you.
Shawset able to win the 1v2 50-50. Gimmick earns himself a savior medal here for game 3. Defense is holding on. It's all they need right now is they've got that lead. Try and play it off the ceiling. Ferret pushes it away. Coming onto the backboard. Squishy airborne. Drop on the backboard once more. Blue slowly playing this one, trying to be patient. Lose a bit of ball control, and Torment will try to connect with Squishy, but Ferris up. Will zone out that shot. Still tried to follow. Squishy in behind, now Bluey in the air. Off the backboard, here comes Farah, open net, but Squishy makes the save, shuts the door on him. And as we approach that final minute, PSG needing that first goal more and more.
Right now, Squishy has adopted a heavy defensive role this game, and it's really panning out. His mechanical skills are letting him get some saves that most players would have a lot more difficulty getting, but it's all on Blue to make this shot. He does, right into the corner, keeping this a 1-goal game.
The redirects this game from Squishy and Bluey. We talked about this being a matchup of dynamite players and the clutch players. Bluey on PSG, Squishy and Gimmick over on Cloud9, and they are going toe-to-toe, a 1-goal game here in game 3. 55 seconds remaining. PSG to try and tie it up. A good start here, Shawset draws up 2 defenders. Farah's in to try and give Bluey another shot. Whether it was a fake or a pass, Blue is hanging all the way in the back. Wouldn't quite be in a good position to shoot. That's a Bluey. Farah's being aggressive as well. The pass 2. 1 defender in the back. Squishy tries to place it over the top. Shawset goes up to try and throw it down, but Squishy says not today. Puts in his 3rd goal, the hat trick for Squishy.
I mean, this is how any of these top players can control these 50-50s. He saw the angle Shawset had, and there's nothing he can do about that. Squishy keeping his car in front of the ball, so the net was pretty much the only direction that was going to go. Just especially because the defender was going in his direction as well. And now they'll put themselves 2 goals up yet again.
And he moved his car to kind of the other side of the ball as soon as he saw the angle Shawset was going to challenge at, guaranteeing that dunk goes in. And Cloud9 was more than likely going to get their first win here in the series. 12 seconds left, they've got to hold on, they're up by 2. So things looking good. If Shawset can put this one in, there's a hope. But Gimmick stalling the timeout, keeping this ball up. Bluey to try and drop one more in, but it's off to the side. That'll do it. Cloud9, game 3 going to go in their favor. We'll go to game 4.
Starting the beginning of what will be a reverse sweep if they try and make this all the way to the end and take this series to stay in the uppers. And as we know, PSG not terribly great with losses. They went, they had the best undefeated record in league play, but then they did nothing but lose the rest of the season. They had that first loss, and I think it put them in a bad rut. They didn't do too well after that. But as you know, very recently, at Gnarly, I mean, just look at this. Following through, trying to get this dunk, able to
watch him
Shawset.
He switches sides on the ball, so it goes over to the other side as soon as he sees Shawset jump, and just secures the game here for Cloud9. The point you're making, though, the PSG, a team that we have watched a few times, suffer a loss, and then it can just tilt them out the rest of the day. Luckily for them, this is the last match of the day. They don't have to, regardless of how this match goes, they can go and they can sleep, they can kind of recuperate, and hopefully it wouldn't affect their performance tomorrow. But still, a reverse sweep is just such a difficult mental roadblock to overcome when that happens to you. You know PSG would like to be able to finish this one off after being 1 game away.
I mean, stress right now is actually a pretty big factor. I mean, you have the European young guns against the North American young guns. Both these teams very young in age and just very young in general of performing here on the RLCS stage. So a lot of pressure. They're doing pretty well, to be honest. I loved seeing that even in game number 1, coming out with their true weaponry, not resorting to kind of the passive Rocket League that we see players do when they're a little scared to lose.
Well, it's still a tall order for CLOUD9. They have to win 2 more. After dropping the first 2, PSG still has them on match point. The win in this game would do it. Finish off our gameplay for day number 1. Squishy tried, but Chaussette found the angle, puts it through, and that could be all PSG needs.
I mean, let's just talk about this angle from Chaussette. Just take a look at it. The power of the angle, that is tough. From kickoff.
The defender's just like, really? You managed to find that angle? Come on, man.
And that's what kickoff boost. He had to actually use the ceiling pushing that down to help him get that power to the net.
Oh, they're starting off aggressive again on the second kickoff here. Gimmick to try and keep it on the ground, but Chaussette just tackles him, puts it all the way to the corner. Torment has to expend boost just to get to the ball, much less put pressure on the ball. Gimmick with a clear down and away. He'll find Torment, who was up in a cherry pick after his initial clear. Squishy works at the midfield. Not wanting to be aggressive just yet. Trying to keep that midfield presence on. You heard them talking about on the desk. Bluey up. Got Chaussette to work with. Calls it behind him, expecting CLOUD9 to win the 50-50s, and they do so. They win it against him as well, though. Now Gimmick up and over the top. Open backfield. Can Bluey get there? Not going to happen. Gimmick ties it up.
And there it is eventually. If you can test enough, hopefully you can find your opponents out of rotation. Farah going up for that as opposed to dropping back, and Bluey hadn't had time to make his rotation to the middle of the field. You have to rely on your teammates. That could have been miscommunication, or just Farah, as much as he would have loved to not contest that, I think he realized he was in a bad place anyway.
And they lose 3 50-50s in a row, and when you lose them that hard, it's very difficult to rotate back in time just because you have lost so much ball control, and shots are going to happen immediately. Especially looking for Gimmick, but Bluey bumps him to high heavens. Chaussette will send it back to the corner. Foreman intercepts, finds Squishy. Now CLOUD9 back up on offense, looking for that lead that they so desperately need here in game 4. Do not afford the loss. They would drop them to the lowers.
What makes both of these teams so strong is watch the way they don't even go for saves. Their save on net ends up just being a pass immediately into something more offensive. Just speaking with someone else about this recently, and it's so impressive to watch these players not even worry about the defensive touch and worry even more about getting it out of their half.
Chaussette on the backboard. Bluey's there to intercept and pass into the middle. Here comes the shot from Farah. Gimmick's up, and he will get the save despite the pressure from Bluey. And look at that save. It just immediately turns into a transition. Squishy goes to zone out Farah. He gets it, and that's CLOUD9 with the lead.
And there it is, this back and forth passing play, and Squishy just looking for the defender instead. I don't know if he made much contact, but either way, Farah had to be aware that someone was coming to zone him out.
Send that one away, and CLOUD9's got the lead. Hold on to this one, and we'll go to game 5. Foreman now. Kick off lofting. Chaussette with lots of space on the backboard. Interesting double commit from PSG. That probably could have been avoided, and now it's up to Chaussette again. He'll get the clear off the wall. Bluey to try and follow along, but CLOUD9 just a few steps ahead of all of PSG right now. Squishy just taking his time. Both defenders just loose in the air, making them look silly.
This really sucks to be either Farah or Chaussette right now. Squishy just played them both. He played them so hard. The angle that he was able to get is difficult, and neither of them trusted to do it. They both thought he'd shoot it to the left or above. Squishy.
It all started with that double commit in the midfield, and from that point on, CLOUD9 was literally 2 steps ahead the whole time. They had so much more time to prepare their shots, and just like that, a 2-goal lead as we're approaching halftime. PSG's got their work cut out for them. Now down into the corner. Chaussette's a lob high, Torment on into the side, and Bluey now looking for Chaussette. The touch he can work with, drops to the Farah, takes the shot towards the net, finds it underneath Squishy, and it's a 1-goal game.
We've seen this attempted a few times this series, but I think this was the best one so far. Just look at how gently Bluey touches it straight down to Farah. This kind of horizontal play is what makes it nearly impossible for your opponent to defend. Notice how far that defender had to come out to net to try and meet that. There's no way he'd get there in time. Only 1 goal and just under halftime left.
The infield passes that are most effective. We got a bit of help there from Gimmick, who's clear effectively worked as a backboard pass. Fair now around the corner, Squishy to follow along the ball. Not allow another pass to materialize with Gimmicks. This one up, Shaw set to follow it. Sends it away, Barrett towards the backboard. Makes contact, Bluey comes in soft. Two defenders over the side. Farrell will look to put it back to the middle. Shawset waiting for a moment of opportunity. He'll move up, switch places with Ferris, steal the boost as well. They'll be able to try and get a siege going here. They need this so desperately if they want to get this lead back. Now it's just about equalizing. They got 1 minute 38 seconds left to work with. Shot and blocked. Sent all the way back around. Bluey airborne. Trying to get the fake on Squishy. Gimmick bumps Squishy pretty heavily. Ball made its way all the way back out to midfield. No immediate attack. Miscommunication. Here comes Norman. Gets it over the top. Squishy looking for Gimmick. Infield pass plays over the top of the defense. Beautiful stuff from CLOUD9 as they secure the 2-goal lead again.
You can see poor Shawset just staring Squishy down, wondering what he was going to do with this, and a Gimmick out of nowhere able to put that to the corner of the net. 2 goals up again for CLOUD9.
It feels like the aggressiveness from PSG is just falling down a little bit from the past 3 games. 2 goals we've seen from CLOUD9, completely uncontested. And the infield pass plays, again, the most difficult sort of passes to deal with at the moment in Rocket League, but still grounded with the defenders of PSG.
You can just watch where CLOUD9 is trying to contest as much as they can at that midfield whenever they get the opportunity, but PSG, again, relying on that backboard right now. You saw that beautiful shot from them earlier, dropping it down to each other. That's what they need to make more of.
Bluey with nice moves to get it past 2. It's just Torment in the back and lofts up high. Shawset's got to find a nice angle, but doesn't make contact. 30 seconds left. Do or die time. PSG, if they want to be able to get the win here in 4 games. CLOUD9 tasked with the reverse sweep of PSG. They've completed the first step, and they are on course to complete 2. Send us to that last game, and the dread starts to set in as Gimmick puts another one in. Game 5, inevitable, and PSG has to gather their wits about them.
I mean, CLOUD9 really trying to keep their composure. Gimmick getting a little fancy there. Putting that last shot on target, I'm assuming will potentially be his last, but 15 seconds left. PSG, it just never feels good to be up by so much, and to just give the equal opportunity to your opponent now, both being able to get 2 victories in the series, going into game number 5 of this best of 5.
If we're thinking, you know, for PSG fans at home and for PSG fans here, like, what do you want to see change? What do they need to do as the buzzer beater goes in? My goodness, CLOUD9 is making a statement here in game 4, but what does PSG need to do? And I want my eyes turned to Bluey. And this matchup of all-stars between Squishy and Bluey, Squishy came alive here in game 4, scoring monstrous goals to give CLOUD9 that just comfort, that buffer of multiple goals on top. I want to see Bluey step up in game 5.
But here's the tough part. You saying that, everyone's saying that, other players are saying that, looking to Bluey to make those moves. And when you rely that much on a single player, not only will he start feeling that pressure, but the whole team starts to feel that pressure.
Yes.
Because now they know that they're kind of undershadowed by somebody. They need to pick up the pace, and if they're relying on Bluey as well, then he's going to get frustrated at not having that support. We see a lot of backboard abuse from PSG, which we'd seen from CLOUD9 earlier. The couple of really nice passing plays that PSG did midfield, it resulted in goal. It was gorgeous. There was no one there to contest them, kind of in that just outside of the box area. I got to make up a name for that because it's killing me. Between the midfield and the box, whatever that's called.
The front half, I don't know.
The quarter field, whatever I'm going to call it, really doesn't matter. But those passes right there are so difficult for defenders to make, and that's when you really force defenders to come out of net and use so much boost to do so.
Yeah.
When you put them in the backboard, they don't need to use boost because you can drive up walls without needing to use any. So you save a lot of boosts on trying to get that, I guess, aerial. You don't really need to use a whole lot. So PSG using that backboard so much, I think, is going to be a big struggle.
Yeah, you said it well that, you know, Bluey right now, a lot of eyes are on him, and he feels those gazes. He knows that everybody is looking to him to carry this roster right now. We are here in game 5, last game of the day for day number 1 of LAN. No matter what, this is it will end right here. And the winner of this stays in the upper bracket. PSG versus CLOUD9. It's been a dynamite series so far. PSG scored early in game 4 and it didn't end up mattering. CLOUD9 was able to bounce back. Can they finish it off here? Have to play the full 5 minutes, not just about that first goal. Ball doing laps around the field, nobody really getting the ball near the box just yet. Looking to come off the ceiling, Chaussette will intercept. Now he's got to deal with the Torment. Gets the infield pass. Bluey over the top. She will look to make the save. Well, he's over the side, but Bluey can still make this decent shot opportunity for his team. Gets it out to Chaussette, but 50-50 from Squishy. Goes over the side, back into PSG territory.
Counter attack, only a single volley. Chaussette not there. To be fair, very difficult bounce to read off that backboard. Not really knowing exactly who's going to get them, but Bluey trying to follow this up. Just missing.
Torment didn't make contact either, but he was expecting the deflection to come through. Was looking for the dunk.
Beautiful demolition.
Getting a demolition onto Chaussette. Here comes Torment to try and make that final shot. A bit of a muck on the defense for PSG. Trying to resort themselves out after the demolition. Torment now, infield pass to Gimmick, finds the goal, puts it through, and Cloud9's got the lead.
Again, those infield passes, starting with that mind game whip right out there at the midfield. Now we see Torment, that beautiful drop down, all the way back to Gimmick, keeping it out of reach of PSG. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left for Cloud9 to keep this lead.
Keep this lead, complete the reverse sweep. Cloud9 trying to do the highly improbable here in day number 1. More fakes coming out from Cloud9, but this time PSG is able to respond quickly. Bluey looking to score. Pitches away. Farrah will take that midfield boost, turn in. Get it past Squishy, over to Bluey. Shot to the back wall. Gimmick puts it to the side, but Farrah can make this competitive again. Bluey's lurking in the midfield. He's already airborne, up very early, trying to drop it down, trying to connect with Chaussette as well. 3 players involved on the play, but the defense of Cloud9 holds.
But there it is. You see PSG realizing they need to get the jump on Cloud9. That's what you have to do. Catch them off guard from the traditional touches that you see every other player make.
Farrah airborne. Squishy over the top. Torment could redirect this down and in. Doesn't need it. Bluey to pinch it off of his own backboard. Then Chaussette with the clear to the side. PSG will avoid that second Cloud9 goal for now, but we're approaching halftime. They need a goal of their own. Farrah pass one. Chaussette into the corner, and Farrah looking for defenders. Not going to connect with any of them. And Torment, the first player he interacted with, able to get past 2. And now with the flicks, here comes Gimmick with another shot. Dismantled defense by Torment, and Gimmick finishes.
Huge props to Gimmick for staying on the outside of Torment here. Notice he immediately knew what was going to happen with this interaction. The best case scenario is that it would have smashed into the wall and he would have tried to ride up that and maybe pass it one more time. But for him, it went right into the front of his car and he was able to push that through.
2:36 left to go here at halftime. PSG gonna get a goal in here off the demolition of Gimmick. It's a good start here right at halftime.
The kickoff demolition on the retreat. Chaussette not only steals his boost, but then takes his car out of the match. 1 goal separates these 2 amazing teams.
It's still so close. Just when it looks like Cloud9 has finally secured the victory, just when it looked like PSG had finally secured the victory 2 games ago, we see the other team, the opponents, coming back. 2:20 left to go here in game 5. Over the top. Zone net. Brings them back in the box. Chaussette downfield. Bluey to go airborne. Looks for the goalie. Spurs just gets the fake plays and ties the game.
I need to watch and see what happened with Squishy here. It looked like potential misexecution.
Oh, he flipped to the side.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
A critical mistake that gives up the lead they had fought so hard for, and now they have to score again. 2 minutes to work with here. Guff eventually going to go in their favor. Farrah sits in net. Bluey off the front line defense in the corner. Farrah gets a nice clear down the field. Bluey sets this one high. Now Chaussette onto the backboard. Off the wall. Farrah put it high. Wrap around the corner. Gimmick to follow through. Wins the 50-50 with Chaussette. Has it on the PSG backboard. Hoping to fake out Farrah, but it's not there. The shot's downfield. Farrah's just taking the long shots right now, forcing Cloud9 to hang back in their own half, hoping they'll make more mistakes and giving him a chance to win those 50-50s, give his team an opportunity to score. Farrah down to Chaussette towards the corner. Bluey following first in the 1 roll for PSG. Pass back up to him. Cronin puts it to the side. 1:12 left to go on the clock, and PSG's knocking on the door. They want that lead back. They've been so close to that victory this entire time. They can finally do it here in game 5. 1 minute left. Try and played out of his own half. Shawset's gonna have to do the dirty work out of the corner. Out to midfield, 50-50s from Cloud9 have been so strong. Torment finds Gimmick. Squishy gets tangled up. Torment into his back. Deep in his own territory here, Cloud9. Deal with this ball that gets across midfield in the final 30 seconds, tied up at 2 apiece. Shawset can put the shot on target, but Torment makes the save. He's right where he needs to be. Bluey now looking for fair. The PSG offense still trying to suffocate Cloud9. The pass inwards, another save from Torment. That strong back line there for Cloud9 over and over again. Bluey will get himself a savior medal on the breakaway to send that one out. But in the final 10 seconds, can they finish this in regulation? Shawset over the top of 2. There's a defender in the back and Squishy will get it away. With 3 seconds left, can they keep it alive? The shot from Gimmick shut down by Shawset and overtime game 5.
You can see PSG really picking up the pace there at the end, getting a couple of really nice shots on net, forcing Cloud9 to play defense for that last minute and a half. But with this ball reset, it could be anyone's game.
Next goal stays alive in the upper bracket. Shawset pass 1. Squishy falls back quickly. Zones out his own teammate, but he's able to move it to the corner. Fair now. Towards the box. Gimmick's got a cherry picker and Squishy. Bluey over the top of 2. Can he finish this off himself? Oh! Gimmick sends it to the side. And we'll keep playing Rocket League here on day number 1.
But Blue dedicated a lot of boosts for that, so now's a chance for Squishy to try and put this on target. But he's gone back in time.
Back. Now Bluey over the top of 1. Fair to follow. Gimmick wins a 50-50 Shawset in, but Gimmick wins it again. Now Squishy moving up. Bluey's able to get a solid solo touch. From the backboard, just Bluey up. Balls it out to midfield. Torment now following this one. Fair takes it away from him on the ground, puts it to the side. Here the drop down, Gimmick sends it towards the net. Can Bluey get there? He does, sends it away. So close is Cloud9, and Bluey plays it over the top. He do it himself, Gimmick sends it to the side, keeping it alive here for Cloud9, but PSG, they've been knocking on the door for like the last 2.5 minutes. Can they get it in finally here? Torment sends it over to the side. Cloud9 just looking for the breakaway opportunities. Fair gets it through 2, Gimmick will spawn in the corner, he'll have to rotate into the defensive cycle. PSG with so much ball control, but this can just lull you into this false sense of security. Pushing overtime, breakaways can easily end games.
There it is again. You see Bluey going for those risky free jumps, already up in the air before the passing.
Squishy got there, but Bluey with the extended flip, the cancel to send that one away.
That is nothing.
Keep playing. Ferret gets the save and sends it out. The defense for PSG holding on the explosive offensive plays from Cloud9. Gimmick puts it back in. Torment looks for the redirect, but it's not there. Now Boost becoming a valuable resource here for PSG. They get it back into the blue. We'll have a little bit of time, but this is overtime. We gotta deal with this. Gimmick's shot is wide. Shawset in the midfield. Gimmick shot towards net. Bluey's on and makes the save. Another savior medal for Bluey.
With only continue on. With only 12 boosts, he made that save. He's been struggling and begging for boost for the last 30 seconds. Just sitting on that back line with no more than 12 for the last, I don't know, minute.
Top. Cloud9 still looking for that first goal. That one goal that matters. Sent into the wall. Gimmick now onto the backboard. Squishy to follow this touch in the air. Sent away by Bluey, but an open net opportunity. This one goes high and Bluey carries it away. Bluey down the field. Farrah falling behind him.
Bump attempt on that.
And now the top. Away, Bluey will rotate with Shawset, but then changes his mind. That might cause some confusion that could end the game. Bluey, the redirected midfield's wide. Farrah in, locking it high. Bluey's up to try and play it away, but Gimmick's there.
Foreman already cheating up, forcing Farrah to get a weak touch. Now Squishy has control.
Oh, Shawset got bumped by Gimmick. Read from Shawset sends it sideways. Bluey's airborne, puts it off the ceiling once more, and dropping it down in front of the box. Shawset tries to find Squishy. Doesn't make contact. Farrah's got it into the back half. He'll look for goalies as Shawset sends a shot towards the net. It's wide, but Squishy and Torment right on top of each other. The tackle from Bluey could eliminate 2 players. Now look to pass back here to Farrah.
It's like watching 2 people play chicken. Neither team refused, like both teams refusing to take their foot off the pedal.
Bluey bringing it high. Squishy over to Gimmick. So dropping back down, Farah off the wall will play it away before Torment can make the final shot. Just lofted, it's up to Farah at this point. Sends a shot towards net, sent away by Gimmick. The defenses on these teams so strong right now. We've already had one overtime go to 5 minutes. Farah, though, will find it, put it through, and PSG stays alive finally in 5 games.
Finally, a small mistake from Gimmick, not able to get behind that, but his teammate trusted him and didn't follow up. Torment stayed right behind in net, leaving that gap too big, and PSG, after a grueling overtime, both teams just taking it back and forth. Phenomenal play from both of these teams, but PSG will move on.
8 saves from Bluey, 1 short of the record that Devo set back in Season 2 World Finals for most saves in a game. A monstrous performance here as PSG secures it. And you love and kind of hate to see a game end that way because it could have so easily gone the other way. These teams were so close that it took them 5 games and an overtime, nearly 2 games there. And as you watch them celebrate, you just know that that has to feel so good to stay alive in the upper bracket.
Celebrating, baby. Actually, there's no such thing as celebrating too hard. That is amazing to watch how happy they were. But I mean, we can feel the pressure just watching, so I can only imagine being on that pitch and actually having to execute. You see what one tiny mistake can do. The moment one tiny mistake just in the wrong place on that entire field, and that's it. You've conceded a goal immediately. It was a textbook shot for the player that made it. Really not a lot, just don't miss.
Yeah, no, and the 50-50s had been so clean, basically the entire series up there till the end. Farah going up, and it looks like Gimmick's going to be able to get the way, but he gets there just the slightest moment earlier, and that is the difference between winning and losing here as we see PSG able to stay alive in the upper bracket, knocking CLOUD9 down to the bottom, and now we have one North American hope in the upper bracket.
I mean, that's one of the, I guess, really difficult things about playing such a fast-paced game. Gimmick could have sworn someone was coming to contest that. That's why he felt so pressured into getting that flip and getting there quickly. But in reality, no one was there for that touch. So the moment he missed it, it left everything wide open between his players, his own teammates assuming there'd be some sort of 50-50, and the opponents just realizing, like, oh, no one's there for that. It's what happens when you have such high-velocity Rocket League. Everyone is expecting certain things to happen and trying to think 2 steps ahead. But once one of those steps disappears, half the staircase goes away.
Yeah.
And then everyone just has to try and figure out what to do.
Well, that concludes our gameplay here for day number 1, but we still have some things to do, and I want to hear what Bluey has to say about that game. I want to hear about that celebration, too. I hope he's okay, all right? Let's send it down and hear what Bluey has to say.
All right, well, the good news is Bluey's alive. All of PSG lives. That was scary for a moment, but I guess that is exactly what that match meant to you guys, because this is a team that you've had a lot of trouble with in the past, correct?
Yeah, they beat us at Northern Arena in like twice. Yeah, so it was really good to beat them here.
So now that you guys have kind of, gotten this win off of your back, right? You can look forward. A lot of people are predicting you and PSG and even CLOUD9 really to just go all the way. Like, these are 2 of the best teams here. And of course you have Gale Force, Energy, et cetera, et cetera. Do you feel as if this is your event, PSG can win the RLCS World Championship?
I think we can win this event, yeah.
100%, he feels confident. Now, I gotta ask you, because in that game, you had some godly saves. Like, you had, I think it was a point where you had like 12 boosts, and somehow, some way, you managed to make it happen. What are the comms like in that situation? Are you letting your teammates know, hey, I don't have a lot of boosts, I don't have a lot to work with, help me, but then you just somehow save it on your own?
Yeah, our comms are quite intense, but they're quite basic since there's like, Chorset can't speak very good English, but yeah.
Okay, so in that instance, you're just like, lay help, just whatever you can possibly do. I totally get that. All right, final question here. Any team that you want to face off, you just beat CLOUD9, your rivals here in this matchup, but who else can you, or do you really want to take down?
I kind of want to face Gale Force as they knocked us out in the regionals. To face them would be really good.
All right, wants to play against Gale Force. Well, Bluey, thank you so much, my man. Appreciate it. Guys, give it up one more time for Bluey and the boys from PSG. What a showing, what a match. Just go ahead and send it over to Axel Toss on the desk to break it all down.
I love it. I love it. What an amazing match there. I mean, we were trying to talk about what's going to happen, probably 5 games. But not only that, overtime, another past 4-minute overtime. And I just want to emphasize just that celebration we saw. It was hilarious, but like, put yourself in the minds of these players, right? When you're in that game 5, with these incredibly important matches, this is a career-defining moment for these players. and you're in an overtime that's going as long as it is, and ridiculous saves are having to occur. And then finally, that one moment, you've been in a Rocket League game where your buddy makes a ridiculous play, and then you just go nuts. I feel like that's a lot of what we were seeing there.
And plus, that was against the favorites to win this entire tournament. PSG coming in as a 4 seed, no one expected CLOUD9 to fall, except for me. I just want to point that. But PSG, that's such a big victory. It's so hard to play that long of an overtime when you meet, because it means so much. Every little mistake, and Bluey, the defense in overtime was insane.
Yeah, I thought Cloud9 was going to take that on several occasions, and really, you have to give PSG credit for remaining calm, getting control over their emotions. We saw them get reverse swept in a 7-game series against Mach. It would have been so easy to be like, oh no, here we go again. But no, on the biggest stage possible, they kept their composure, had an insane overtime, Bluey keeping things out of the net and getting that win. This is huge for PSG.
You said insane overtime. That was the most insane overtime. It was pressure, 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 one end of the pitch, then all the way back. And Bluey didn't just make one 12-boost save. He made 4 12 boost, some of them even 0 boost saves in a row, 5 total in overtime in order to keep them in it. The amount of pressure that PSG has just put on the favorites has got to be the biggest championship performance I've seen.
And we're just getting started, guys. This is only day 1, and what an incredible match to round things out. A series where we saw PSG go up 2-0, Cloud9 return it back. I felt you guys, the crowd, you guys were like, they're amazing crowd here. Every Cloud9 goal, you're like, wait a second, is this going to happen? But then the resilience shown there by PSG to pull off that victory there and advance to the next round is absolutely huge. And we talk implications. What that match means for the entire tournament, it's absolutely massive.
Definitely throws a bomb in the lower bracket.
Yeah, for sure.
Cloud9
down there. Yeah.
It puts a big bomb in the upper bracket too. There's now 3 EU teams and just 1 NA team left in Ghost.
Yeah, and to talk about this match more, guys, as far as the playmakers having to come through in the clutch, Bluey, we heard him on stage. I think that might have been the first time we've heard Bluey, actually, on an RLCS broadcast. Great to hear from him. But to see his composure and to see him calm and collected at the end there, I think is a testament to maybe the experience they're getting in real time right now on that stage. And there's something else I noticed that I want to ask you guys about as far as the communication from PSG. I don't know if y'all saw, but it seemed like Farah was very vocal, and I suppose that makes sense as Blue and Chassette being the younger players. What do you make of that communication on the side of PSG, on Farah stepping up, having to be a leader, and being very vocal to his teammates?
Oh, I just think that, like Bluey said, keep the comms simple, and I think that can definitely help them. One of the things that's so important in communication in Rocket League is just calling when you have it and when you don't. So, you know, just him getting hyped up, being prepared to just say help or lay help. Golden foot. I think that could help them. But really, Farah, he's had this World Championship experience, and he should be proud of getting that overtime goal and getting PSG that win.
It's very hard on LAN as well to really calm properly. Teams that don't calm too much have, in the end, a big advantage because there is such a noisy crowd. It's very hard to hear each other. So this might work in their favor.
And now Cloud9, as we've mentioned, is going to be dropping down to the lower bracket. And this lower bracket is looking so stacked. And you gotta think about how tough of a match that Cloud9 starts off with against PSG. What do you think is going through their minds? Because they're dropped down to lower bracket, but they got knocked down by what is clearly looking to be a world champion caliber team in PSG. I think they've proven it at this point that they are definitely a contender here. How does Cloud9 wrap things up here and turn things around going into tomorrow, stay motivated and realize, hey, you know, PSG's pretty good, we can still do this?
But they have to show that games 3, 4, and 5 were the games that they came out to play. Like after those nerves kind of wore off, games 1 and 2 were a little bit rough, and I think it was because of those nerves. It's your first World Championship, first time in front of a big crowd. It makes sense to have some nerves, but they almost won game 1. It went to overtime. I think that really hurt them, that they didn't get that victory. But they should just look at games 3, 4, and 5. We played PSG extremely well, and so we should be fine when they go down to the lower bracket. They will have to face either Energy or Chiefs, and they know that they can beat Energy. We'll see if Chiefs can make it through as well. But I think Cloud9 should be not happy about this performance, but at least take it pretty much as an experience. And now let's go into day 2 fresh.
And we've seen it time and time again where a team that we expect to do well gets knocked down into that lower bracket early. We saw it with Flipside, we saw it with Northern Gaming, and really that lower bracket, you play more games. So if you can make that lower bracket run, get all those games under your belt, you're feeling great going into that lower final and then going up potentially into the grand final. I think we can expect a stellar lower bracket run from Cloud9.
And it's about room for improvement. We talked about Chaucet. He was the one who could step up and really make it for PSG, and he did. Down in the lower bracket, Cloud9, it was the first 2 games that Gimmick just had a little bit of a struggle, 2 mistakes that cost potentially the game.
And then also Squishy as well with a few side flips, uncharacteristic. So, yeah, if they can clean that up,
they have room for improvement, and that is scary.
And again, that final game, we saw stupid saves from PSG, so it could have easily gone in Cloud9's favor. So every match so important at these World Championships. I want to watch that one over and over again, but for now, let's take a look at the Mobile One high-performance replay and recap that amazing, incredible, the highest level of Rocket League we've ever seen. Cloud9, PSG emerging victorious.
It's so hard for Cloud9 because PSG comes up with a huge Game 1 victory in overtime. They win Game 2.
That miss from Gimmick cost them.
Yeah, it just happens, and it's only 30 seconds in overtime. That really hurts, and then you're like, well, we have to win 3 times in a row versus a really good team. It's very difficult to do so. Cloud9 almost pulled it off, and these goals, they were up 2-0, and then all of a sudden they started to claw back PSG with some weird goals like Squishy side flip there, then the Chaucet demo. And PSG, though, Bluey with those saves, with like no boost. There was so much pressure on them. It seemed like Cloud9, if they were to just a couple inches here or there, they could have scored those.
And that's a surprise for them. In league play, PSG were not known for their defense, but now they're at the most important tournament. That's where they stepped up here.
And we saw that final moment there. Farah, perfect placement in top left corner, and then the moment after, they went crazy. They were
a demo IRL.
It fell down. That's what it was. I was searching for the term there. But awesome to see their attitude and just how they reacted to that match. You could tell how important it is to them that they were able to take that down. And we saw Bluey mentioning it in the interview. There's a personal something going on here, a rivalry in the making between Cloud9 and PSG, and I could not be any happier to know that's happening, because I feel like going into the future, we're going to see these guys go toe-to-toe quite a bit.
Especially with the new format of the RLCS. I think Wavepunk mentioned it. This season was the final season for the qualifiers for getting into the RLCS. So these guys, every team at the World Championship, we are guaranteed to see back next season. So it's going to be awesome watching PSG, a young, talented team, continue to be a part of the RLCS. But hey, we still have the Season 4 World Championship, and they haven't won it yet.
I know. This is only day 1, guys. And we also have a Old Spice Player of the Day for day 1 of the World Championships here. And it goes to a North American player helping Ghost reach the next round. It's Lethamir.
Man, Europe's going to be a little salty. They win 3 out of 4, but we still give it to Lethamir. He was the reason why that Ghost won this series. 6 goals on 15 shots. 40% shooting, while his teammates really suffered to put the shots on net. And this was a big win because Ghost, again, everyone keeps doubting them. A lot of people were kind of quiet on Mocket as well, and he came up huge.
Absolutely, dispelling all doubt. That Game 5 performance, he scored the only 2 goals, and they were stellar goals. But you also giving credit to his teammates, Zane and Classics. These guys stepped up, but really, Lethamir was that difference maker, that key to success, that key to victory, and that's why he is the Old Spice Player of the Day.
Yeah, Moms and Sons agree. It practically smells itself. Congratulations one more time to Lethamir from Ghost. They're going to see if they can make a run out of the World Championship.
And plus, the craziest thing is it's the only North American team to beat a European team.
Yep.
And yet again, we always are talking about the big 3 of North America. Well, all 3 of them lost to Europe, and Ghost Gaming is still alive in the upper bracket. Once again, we continue to doubt just a bit, or at least I continue to doubt.
Oh, you know, I don't know if that makes sense.
I'll try. But Ghost Gaming, they have to be so happy, and it's going to be a fun ride tomorrow for them.
Absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at that bracket again. We are only 1 day down, 2 more to go. Tomorrow, we're going to be focusing on that lower bracket, but let's take a look at that upper bracket first. Gale Force making it through over G2 eSports. G2, a comeback victory over Chiefs to get to that point, and we saw Ghost take out Mocket all the way to 5 games. In fact, 4 of our 6 matches today going the distance all the way to 5 games.
Yeah.
PSG taking out CLOUD9, Method over NRG, and what a championship do we have?
We talk about the skill gap closing. This is a testament to that. Just every series so close. Even Chiefs, G2, going all the way to Game 5. EU, OCE, NA, everyone came here and put on a fantastic day one performance.
We're guaranteed an EU team in the upper bracket final, and now in the lower bracket, we have to see who is going to make that lower bracket that seems to happen every single season.
So we'll see 4 of these teams out of the 6 be eliminated tomorrow. So it's going to be a very tough route. We see Energy could possibly play Cloud9. Chiefs as well, the #1 seed from OC, could play Cloud9. Very tough lower bracket, but it's just because all these teams here are so good.
I feel like storylines are oozing throughout this bracket right now. You saw Method and PSG, a matchup we're going to see again. Remember, these were the 2 teams that were undefeated in the regular season, and everyone was looking forward to that matchup. And again, on the bottom, the 3 North American teams looking to make that run, are the big 3 of the North American region, going to try to make big lower bracket runs. Guys, before we close out the day, any final thoughts, any favorite storylines of the tournament that you're particularly going to be looking out for?
I got nothing. This crowd's been amazing. Yeah. I'm really excited for Saturday and Sunday when we start seeing the bigger and bigger matchups, and I bet this crowd is going to start going crazy when we start seeing some games where it means everything to these teams, when we get into those overtimes where it's not win or go to the lower bracket, it's win or go home.
Yeah, definitely. I want to keep my eyes on Ghost. They came out again, dispelling all doubt, winning that first series. And then also, if NRG takes out Chiefs, we're going to see the established North American dynasty of NRG go up against Cloud9, and really the winner of that series can claim regional dominance.
Well, this is easily the most epic day one as well. If that was the quality of games we're going to see, day 2 and 3 should be even better. I cannot wait to see how this goes, and I still can't pick a winner.
Yeah, we are only just beginning. The show continues tomorrow and the next day, beginning at noon Eastern time. Please join us on twitch.tv/Rocket League. Use the hashtag RLCSWC on Twitter. But we're going to take a break for now. We're going to go home, get some rest, or go to our hotel rooms, get some rest, and we'll be back at noon Eastern. So make sure you tune in as the World Championships continue. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes, Psyonix and Twitch. My name's Axel Toss. See you tomorrow.
Up. Getting into silver gold territory. You don't score here in regulation. We're going to go to overtime. Jake getting up point. JNAP's in, puts it through, and G2's got the lead. The long shot's starting to be coming through. A bit more. Drippe with another one. Kronovi with the save. Can he get it out? JNAP's helps him out as the ball nearly was in.
Yeah. And I had a chance to play some games with CJ. He is so fast. He's so sick. And look at that. Taking a page out of Shogun's book. You better follow that man on Twitter.
They've worked ever so hard. They've worked ever so smart in this game, but they need to get the result for it. There's going to be the tap down from Kia, but the shot not on target, and it will allow Bluey to go for the air dribble. He's going to take his time, find a spot that no one is, and there is nobody in the goal to save that. One goal being the difference. JNAP's looking for the shot. JNAP's once again the difference maker.
The long punt. Farah moving in to intercept Torment. Now he's going to look for the other goalie. Gimmick goes airborne, but he misses. Shaw set to drop it down and underneath. PSG takes game 1. Long punt. Farah moving in to intercept Torment. Now he's going to look for the other goalie. Gimmick goes airborne, but he misses. Shaw set to drop it down and underneath. PSG takes game 1. Gimmick, the defenses on these teams so strong right now. We've already had one overtime go to 5 minutes. Farah, though, will find it, put it through, and PSG stays alive finally in 5 games.
Finally, a small mistake from Gimmick, not able to get behind that, but his teammate